On a tempestuous night filled with the rage of thunder, the old winter's house, nestled on the outskirts of a forgotten town, became a realm of whispered secrets and unseen watchers. Kyle, alone for the weekend, found comfort in the steady scratch of his pencil against paper, oblivious to the growing tempest outside, until a sudden flicker of light startled him from his trance. As the house plunged into darkness, the storm's cacophony all but swallowed the small sounds of his home. Yet a distinct ticking broke through the uproar, a grandfather clock that shouldn't be working. Armed with only the narrow beam of his phone, Kyle approached the antique clock, its pendulum swinging with unnerving precision. The clock had been silent for years, a dusty relic of the past suddenly sprung to life. As he watched, the hands of the clock spun wildly, faster and faster, blurring into a vision that was hard to comprehend. Then, as suddenly as it had started, it stopped, precisely at midnight. The air shifted, heavy with a cold that seeped into his bones. From the shadows, faint outlines appeared, moving just beyond the edge of the light, whispering incoherently. Heart pounding, Kyle turned, chasing glimpses of the shadows that teased the corners of his vision. Each flash of lightning revealed more of the room, more of them, watching, waiting. Then silence, profound and chilling. The clock's ticking echoed through the house, a sinister beat that seemed to pulse with his own racing heart. Gathering his courage, Kyle grasped a candle, the flame flickering against the gathering darkness. With each step, the whispers grew louder, more urgent. As the storm broke momentarily, light flooded the room, and the eerie presence receded as swiftly as it had appeared. Shaken, Kyle was left to wonder. Had the storm brought these phantoms, or had the clock opened a door to something far older and more mysterious? In the winter's house, every storm brings with it more than just wind and rain. It carries whispers of the past, each tick a reminder that some hours are best left unwatched.
On a storm-soaked evening, as the sky unleashed its fury upon the town of Eldridge, the lone figure of Liam stood by the window, gazing out into the tempest. Tonight, the 19-year-old was alone, his family gone to visit a distant relative, leaving him the keeper of the old family home. The house, a relic passed down through generations, had its share of creaks and moans, which tonight seemed louder, almost as if protesting the storm outside. Liam tried to ignore the uneasy feelings settling in his gut as he prepared for bed. No sooner had Liam reached his room and settled under the covers than the power flickered and failed, plunging the house into an eerie silence punctuated only by the relentless storm. It was then, amidst the howl of the wind and the drumming of the rain, that the phone rang, slicing through the silence with its shrill tone. But how? The house phone line had been dead for years. With a trembling hand, Liam picked up the receiver. A voice, cold and distant, echoed through the line. "Come downstairs, Liam!" The call disconnected as abruptly as it had come. Heart pounding, Liam stood, frozen. The voice was unrecognizable, and yet it had known his name. Against his better judgment, Liam's feet carried him towards the stairs, drawn by a mix of fear and an irresistible curiosity. As he reached the living room, the air grew inexplicably colder. The room was empty, yet a feeling of being watched crawled over his skin. Then, another flash of lightning revealed a figure outside the window, a shadow that vanished as quickly as it appeared. Was it a trick of the light, or something or someone, real, watching, waiting? Shaken, Liam backed away, bumping into the wall as he kept his eyes fixed on the now empty window. The storm raged on, and with each minute that passed, Liam felt the house draw tighter around him, the whispers of the past, and perhaps something more sinister, melding with the storm's roar. As morning's light washed over Eldridge, Liam's night of terror seemed like a distant nightmare. But the phone's ring still echoed in his ears, a chilling reminder that some nights the storm brings more than just wind and rain to the old family home.
In the heart of a rural expanse, where the land meets the turbulent sky, stands the Hamilton farmhouse. On this particular night, the storm was not the only visitor to its weather-beaten doors. Grace had always found solace in the quiet solitude of the countryside. Yet as the storm intensified, so did a feeling of unease that she couldn't shake off. Tonight, the house felt different, as if charged with a whispering energy. It began with sounds that should not exist in an empty house, footsteps above, where no living soul should be. With only the flickering light for company, Grace's curiosity overcame her trepidation. The old wooden stairs groaned under her steps, as if warning her to turn back. But the footsteps continued, beckoning her to the upper hallway, a place seldom visited. With each step, the air grew colder, the atmosphere thicker. The lantern flickered, as if struggling against an unseen force. Then, as she reached the end of the hallway, the footsteps ceased abruptly. Before her, an old door creaked open, revealing a room forgotten by time, filled with dust-covered furniture and old portraits staring down. The air held a chill that seemed to whisper of bygone eras. As she stepped inside, a gust of wind slammed the shutters closed, plunging the room into darkness. Heart racing, Grace fumbled with her lantern, casting light on the walls just as a shadow moved swiftly across the room. Was it merely a trick of the light, or had the storm brought something or someone into the house? Determined to find answers, Grace followed the elusive shadow, each step fueled by a mix of fear and resolve. The soft, melancholic notes of a piano played in the next room, no hands upon its keys. The melody was haunting, familiar, yet unsettling, echoing through the empty house as if a remnant of the past lingered in the present. As the first light of dawn pierced the horizon, the storm cleared and the house fell silent once more. Grace, weary but unharmed, wondered if she had witnessed a ghostly serenade, or if the isolation had conjured echoes of the farmhouse's storied past.